Okay, let's get right into it. The US renewable energy sector is, well, it's booming. But if you're an investor, that sheer scale can be a lot. So, what we're going to do in this explainer is cut right through all that noise. We're going to identify the real core demand drivers that are shaping this market. And then we're going to pinpoint a specific, high potential region that is absolutely primed for growth. Here's how we're going to break it down for you. We'll start with the big picture, America's clean energy boom. Then we'll zoom right into Arizona to see its unique advantages. From there, we'll get really specific and identify a true ground floor opportunity. And finally, we'll pull it all together into a clear, actionable investment blueprint. Think of it as a funnel, from the macro all the way down to the micro. Before we dive any deeper, I just want to put a number on the table. A big one, $47.5 billion. Now, that's not some far-off projection. That's the actual capital spent on just U.S. wind and solar projects between 2022 and 2024. This isn't a trend that's coming. It's a massive market opportunity that is happening right now. All right, Section 1, America's clean energy boom. Let's take a look at the powerful, top-down forces that are creating this incredible investment climate all across the United States. So what's fueling all this? Well, it really boils down to this perfect storm of three huge drivers. First up, you've got policy that's pushing for supply chains to come back home. Acts like the OBB are incentivizing projects to use U.S.-sourced materials. Second, there's just this tidal wave of private money, of investor capital, pouring in. And third, something we're all seeing, record-breaking demand for electricity, thanks to EVs, data centers, and AI. And just look at how this is accelerating. See this? Investor pledges jumped by over 35% in 2023. Not bad, right? But then, in 2024, that growth more than doubled to almost 73%. That's not just a number on a chart. That's a massive vote of confidence from the market. So, when we talk about investing in this sector, what are we really talking about? It's so important to get this right. It's not just about the shiny solar panels or the giant wind turbines themselves. It's the whole ecosystem. The industrial firms, the materials suppliers, the heavy equipment operators, the maintenance crews, and the specialized logistics companies that make these massive projects actually happen. And this chart, this really shows you where the opportunities are. Look at this. Over half of all investment is in operation and maintenance. That's the long game, right? The recurring revenue streams. Then you've got another huge 35% chunk in material suppliers. The point is, the opportunity is diverse, and it's heavily weighted towards the long-term health of these projects. Okay, so this brings us to the big question, doesn't it? For any investor, in a market this huge with so many different pieces, where do you even start? How do you focus your capital for the best possible return? Where is the smart money actually going? Well, that brings us to Section 2, the Arizona Advantage. This is where we see all those national trends come together and create a concentrated, high-growth regional hotspot. This is our answer. So why Arizona of all places? It's not just one thing. It's this incredible combination of factors all coming together at once. It's perfectly positioned to catch the spillover demand from California's crowded market. It's got its own ambitious clean energy goals. It's close to new, de-risked U.S. supply chains. And critically, it has two massive internal demand drivers, a huge need for power from data centers, and a growing focus on climate resilience. Let's dig into that first point, because it's huge. California's grid is just packed. It's congested. There are project delays. And for Arizona, that's not a problem. It's a massive competitive advantage. What's happening next door is a direct driver of demand, pushing capital right into Arizona's more open market. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The analysis is crystal clear on this. It says this situation is actively pushing developers to seek less congested alternatives. They are specifically looking for what Arizona offers: infrastructure-ready markets with room to grow and a faster path to getting things done. Now, let's talk about that other huge local driver, data centers. The tech sector is flocking to Arizona, and these facilities are just power-hungry 24/7. They're putting a whole new level of substantial, constant load on the state's grid, a demand that absolutely has to be met. And what's the direct result of that? Well, just as the analysis states, it is driving investment in solar and battery storage. It's a straight line. The tech boom is directly fueling the renewables boom. The key takeaway here? The demand is already baked right in. Okay. So this is where it gets really interesting. This brings us to Section 3, a ground floor opportunity. We've gone from the whole country down to the state. Now let's drill down to a specific spot where an investor can actually take action: the real AZ corridor. So, what does this specific corridor bring to the table? You've got massive solar potential. You're plugged right into major logistics routes. You have abundant land that is ready to go. Your operating costs are lower, and you've got a skilled workforce ready to get to work. It's the whole package. Let's start with the most obvious advantage. We're talking about a place with 300 sunny days a year. So, yeah, the potential is just immense. And the market knows it. Arizona is projected to be third in the entire country for solar growth over the next 5 years. But here's the kicker: there is still so much headroom for expansion. Now, this next point, for any investor, this is absolutely critical. The available land here isn't just empty space, it's a strategic asset. Having access to sites that are ready to go means you can dramatically de-risk your projects and slash the time it takes to get from a plan on paper to an operation on the ground. And the numbers here really tell the story. You can get fully serviced, development-ready sites with all the connections for just $25,000 an acre. Need to plan a bit further ahead? General use land is under $4,000 an acre. That offers incredible flexibility at a massive cost advantage right out of the gate. And the savings don't just stop at the land. Just look at these operating costs. The industrial electricity rate in Arizona is below the national average, and it's less than half of what you'd be paying just next door in California. Add to that a labor market that's more cost competitive than both Texas and California, and the business case just gets stronger and stronger. Finally, and this is so important, it's not just about the upfront costs. It's about the entire support system that's already in place for the long haul. You've got top-tier universities doing applied R&D, you've got state-run job training programs, a technical college pipeline feeding skilled workers right into the industry, and pro-investment policies. This is an ecosystem that's built for success. And that brings us to our final section, your investment blueprint. Let's pull all of these threads together into one clear, compelling thesis. So here it is, the whole story in a nutshell. It really is a funnel. It starts with undeniable national demand in a market that has policy tailwinds. You narrow your focus to a prime regional hub, Arizona, which is capturing that growth. Then you pinpoint the local advantage in the real AZ corridor with its de-risked land and lower costs. And finally, you see it's all future-proofed by a supportive local ecosystem ready to go. So we'll leave you with this thought. With national demand absolutely soaring and policy forcing the supply chain to come back home, the opportunity is crystal clear. The question for an investor is no longer if you should be in this space. The question now is where. So when all the data is pointing to one specific corridor with such a clear strategic advantage, the only real question left is, where will you be?